So picture a life like this. You wake up every morning beside a woman that you don't like. She's alright, you don't mind her, blah blah blah, whatever. You get up out of the bed and you go to work. You commute an hour a day to a job that pays okay, but doesn't pay overly well. But it pays just enough to pay all the bills and get you a few nice things, right? But you don't really like it, right? You come home to nagging, to everything in between. You just want to relax after a long day of work, and your wife says, I want you to do all these house chores, yada yada yada. Then there's kids to deal with, and you go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. By the time you got home, it was 7. You've done all the house chores, you got to sit down and watch telly for half an hour. Now it's bedtime. And you're going to do that 5 days a week for 40 years. Your physique is mid. Your your wife is ugly. Your kids hate you. You don't have any money. And you get 4 weeks off work every single year. And you're just going to keep doing that and keep doing that. That's the normal life. That's the life of 90% of people, 80% of people-ish. That is the life of 80% of people. And if you don't believe me, look around you. That is what most people are doing. 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. So 9 hours a day-ish, right? 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But a lot of people, again, that is actually one thing. But most people don't just work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. They work jobs where the hours are irregular. You're still working 40 hours, but the hours are irregular, so you might finish at 9 o'clock one night and start work at 8 o'clock the next morning. Stuff like that, right? And this is the normal life. Normal life, right? So, you don't have time to really see your family. You don't have time to see your friends. You don't have time to do things, really. On your days off, you're tired. You're just going to relax, watch the sport, maybe go down to the pub and have a few pints with the lads. You know, that's the normal life. That's not the life I'm wanting. And for most people nowadays, that's not the life that people actually want to live. Do you understand me, yeah? So, to get a life that nobody else wants, you're going to have to do things that nobody else is doing, right? And people will look at you crazy. People will judge because you're going against the grain. You're not normal. Do you understand that concept? What my day looks like, and I do part-time work as well, right? What my day would look like. It's quite simple actually, right? So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll meditate. I'll go in and I'll have a cold shower. I'll go down and have breakfast. I'll come into my room. I'll record some YouTube videos. I'll record some TikToks. I'll have a quick gander through Twitter. Then I'll go to the gym. And then it's generally time for work. I only work about 3 days anyway, right? But if I'm not working, I'm going out and I'm doing something. I'm going to explore, but I'm always doing something. I'm never just sitting around doing nothing, right? And I see my friends all the time. I meet up with them whenever I want to. I do whatever I want to. And I go where I want, when I want, because I only work 3 days a week. And I know what 3 days I'm going to be working. Pays the bills. Gets me nice things. And yeah. And then eventually, when this starts paying off, I won't have to actually do any work. Like, I won't actually have to work. this will be my work. And I already count this as my work anyway. So I'm going to try and be a bit more consistent with the uploads and actually do them every day. Sometimes things come up, like last week I went off with some friends. And then there was a lot of things going on as well, like in life. So I put that as my priority, which is always fine, right? Things do come up in life, but it's about bouncing back from things that have come up and things that have happened, right? But to live, like, if you don't want normal people results, you've got to do things that normal people do not do, right? And that's the point I'm trying to make. But I don't sacrifice much. I sacrifice having a good bit of money now. That's the only thing I'm sacrificing to live a good life. I earn just about enough at the moment to make sure I'm fine for money. And I don't buy that much stuff, so most of that gets saved anyway. I live rent free with a family member. I do my college degree, which I really like. But again, if you want to be top 1% with income, with status, with your physique, you want to date the girl of your dreams. None of that is going to come out of just being normal. And I've fallen into that trap so many times before, where I'll be going hard on self-improvement. I'm getting more and more extreme in my beliefs and my views, right? And then someone will turn to me and they'll be like, you don't need to be doing all of this. And I might slow down then a bit. And then I realize afterwards, wait, but you're trying to get me to live a normal life. I don't want to live a normal life. I don't want to die not having fulfilled my potential, not having unlocked my potential. So I'm going to wake up every morning, do the same things, cold shower, meditate, gratitude, doing my morning push-ups, yada, yada, yada. Uploading content, helping people, then gym, work, see family, meet friends, go and do fun stuff. And it's actually quite fun. It's more fun than what most normal people are having. Because most normal people actually hate their lives. They're looking forward to 20 years' time when they can retire. They're looking forward to annual leave, their 4 weeks of annual leave. You know, they're looking forward to Friday night where they can go out and get absolutely blacked out drunk and then live off nothing for the rest of the week because you've blown it all on Friday night. Like, how's that living? That's not living. Living is, I do exactly what I want to do. Wake up, do good habits, put myself ahead of people. I do work that's going to pay off in the long run. And I don't sacrifice meeting up with friends, having a social life, because, again, right, this is where a lot of people misinterpret self-improvement, where they're like, the lonely chapter. Fair enough, whatever, it works. But also, you don't want to be socially autistic either. So you, like, make friends, go out, do things. Like, I went to play mini golf last week. We went shopping. We went for food. We had a drink. Big deal. Not the best thing I could have done, but it's about keeping up with your social skills, because there's no point locking yourself in your room for 18 months until you hit 10k a month, then going outside and realizing you can't talk to anybody. That's not what I want to do. And most people who lock themselves in a room for 18 months, all day, lock themselves in a room, don't come out of their room, they're not actually doing any of the good habits anyway. They're actually not working on a business or meditating. They're just doing brain rot bullshit that does not benefit them. Whereas, making friends, going out, doing things with my life, when everything else is done, there's nothing wrong with it. And especially, right, with most people who are absolute killers on self-improvement, right? They forget about the friends side of things. Then they get lonely and they fall off and they go back to their video gaming playing friends. So then they end up falling off. Whereas with me, I'm 100% consistent. I do the same things every single day, progressively overloaded over time, and I keep winning. And eventually, I'm going to pass out everybody who's went even harder than I've went on it. Small, consistent progress over time. And it's not that I'm running slow in this race either, because I'm not. In the last 3 weeks, I'm a completely different person to who I was 3 weeks ago. And that's only 3 weeks of me just being consistent, doing things, pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, learning, meeting new people, enjoying new experiences. And I'm a completely different person than I was. And every couple of months, you're going to see massive changes in your life, massive improvements in your life. And eventually, you're going to have outgrown everybody anyway. So again, I go out to have a good time, but most of the time I'm not too pushed on whether I see a person again or not. Make friends, see if they stick around. Doesn't really matter, because the more you level up, the more friends you're going to make anyway. But having the friends at the earlier stage and still having that bit of a social life will benefit you massively. Then when you get to the level you actually want to get to, and you're talking to these high level people and you're networking with high level, high performing, high achieving people that you actually want to be friends with. It's very interesting to think about, right? But in order to have a life that nobody else wants, you're going to have to make sacrifices, such as the sacrifice of instant gratification. So you're not going to be doing any bad habits because your time should be taken up with delayed gratification activities. Instead of sitting there consuming content all day, you need to be creating content or creating something. Do you understand me? Yeah? And from there, everything else is easy. You're just going to excel past everybody else. And here's some interesting analogy for you. So if you're in the woods and you're being chased by a bear, you don't have to be the fastest person in order to not be eaten by the bear. You just have to be faster than the slowest person. Because everybody else is going to fall off over time, but you've stayed consistent. So you keep a nice steady pace that you can maintain, delayed gratification activities rather than instant gratification activities, and keep doing that consistently. And the people who are, again, you still need to be running fast because there's people catching up to you, there's a bear behind you, but not running too fast that you're going to wear yourself out, not doing the wrong things. There's different elements of your life and you need to spread it out. So you have your relationships, you have your fitness, and you have your money. And then all of that works into each other. So my meditation, my journaling, my relaxing period is playing mini golf, go play bowling, go for a meal, maybe go for a cocktail or a whiskey or something, have a gentleman's night with the boys, having a phone call with one of my friends, stuff like that. That would be me enjoying myself. but also it's helping me improve myself. I'll let you think about that one for a minute. And see what you take from that itself. But that's the whole point of this video, is fuck being normal. What has being normal ever gotten anybody? I want to excel in everything I do. And I know I can excel in everything I do. Now, ask yourself, and this is a journaling prompt for tonight, ask yourself, what things can I implement today that's going to massively benefit my future self and get me ahead of the rest of the flock? What actions can I take now that are going to benefit me in the long term to getting ahead of the flock, to getting the life I want? Ask yourself that, figure out what things you should be doing, and go and do them every single day of the week. Have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mwah.